I can remember being a kid at summer camp. I don't know where the counselor was, but it was about 10 o'clock and there was 12 of us packed on one set of bunk beds reading through the book of Revelation, scaring the snot out of each other with reading about pale riders and hell following and pestilence and death and dragons and multi-headed beasts and code numbers and trying to figure out what it all meant. I remember sitting in the early 90s in my grandparents' living room as they watched This Week in Bible Prophecy, and it was explained to them how what was going on in the Middle East was just what the prophets had foretold 3,000 years before, and the end of the world was nigh. Just recently, this guy wrote a book based on 4 lunar eclipses happening in conjunction with 4 Jewish holidays and how, whoa, this really meant something. I'm supposed to be talking about parables this week as we're closing off. I'm going to talk a bit about Jesus' stories about the end of the world, about end times, or the end of the beginning if we're going to talk about it in relation to eternity. It was a mess. People were just as obsessed then as they are now. And Jesus talked about fig trees, and he talked about wedding feasts, and he talked about servants being beaten, and he talked about all sorts of stuff. And really what it all came down to was Jesus saying, stop it. Stop obsessing. Stop trying to figure it out. In Acts 1:7, he even says, it is not for you to know the date or the time. Because when people start obsessing about the end times, they start missing the point. Jesus says, you're not supposed to worry about this. You're not supposed to be trying to nitpick through codes and dates and times. Don't worry about it. You have to live in the tension. You have to live like the end of the world's tomorrow, and you have to live like it might be another 2,000 years. What you do with your life, what you do with your life now in light of eternity, that's the important thing.